Hi Collective, welcome to the channel. I'm Crystal, a divine psychic medium here, delivering messages to you from the higher realms. So welcome everyone. So this is going to be part 3 to all of my downloads and uploads that I have been exposing today, right? Because I love to upload in threes, right? And I do want to get into some tarot and some oracle and some love messages and taking a look into the cosmos and what's going on for the fun energy that's coming in. So definitely come back, take a look at those if you feel guided, right? Because I've got these fun decks on my desk, but so many like channeled messages have been coming out. I don't know if I had a break too, because it's like if I take a break sometimes, then when I do get online to do, there's just like, so much stuff comes out. Because this one's, I guess it's too, because it's actually when I spend time for me, being a mom of 4. I've always got a lot going on. So I don't get a lot of time for me. So when I do finally have some time for me, lots of messages and downloads come through. So yeah, definitely corruption has been what's been coming out, and cult leaders, things getting exposed to magicians and warlocks and black magic and so much stuff. Like I've been finally realizing the stuff that keeps like overlaying my mind, the stuff that I'm thinking about. When you really start to look at where you're getting pulled to as being a chosen one, you know that that's what you're being led to. The things that are easily given to you are often the matrix agents leading you that way for a reason. Path of a chosen one was never easy. It's never supposed to be easy. We don't get things just handed to us. Now, yes, we do get divine interventions and we get help and things like that, right? But it's when we pull it in through transmutation, when it's something you know that you alchemize out of a situation. So it's different than it just being like handed to you, guided to you. It's like if you didn't have to work for it, basically, then you're starting to realize it's the matrix leading you. Because they're always trying to harness this energy. You're a threat. So why would things be easy? Why would things be given to you? Right? So that's why I'm starting to realize the things that are too easy to be given to you, if it's not something you are asking for, that you manifested, that you put some sort of work into, then it's some sort of control. Right? Because as the chosen one, you know that whatever you truly need will come to you. That you manifest it as needed, when needed, things like that. So for some of you, you could be finding out about these people and why do they want to give you things, right? Why does the matrix agents want to give you things, want you on your timeline? Because they want your energy. That is why. They want your manifesting abilities. They don't like the fact that you're here exposing the matrix, that you're breaking people out. So it's like, it's one of those, like, if I can't defeat you, why not work with you? You know what I mean? Like I'm getting the informant, right? It's kind of like, you know, and that's what I was starting to realize that they were starting to do with my son, because he kept just getting caught up just so much and so much that but unknowingly, they were trying to use him to extract information, like, you know what I mean? And it's a way to get someone to infiltrate and to get them in, you know, because, you know, it's like, you can't beat somebody, why not work with them? Use their energy, but not let them know you're doing that. Not fully let them know. Because especially, like, they know a chosen one's not going to give up their integrity. They're not going to give up. You can't buy a chosen one. So when it comes to, like, money, like, you can try. Oh, I've been tried many times. Many times I've had them come at me. And I'm just like, no, I'm good. You know, and then it makes them want me even more. You know? Because it's like, when someone's in so much confidence, like, that's what you're attracted for. Like, guys find it as, like, a challenge when they can't get a girl. The girls that are easy are the ones that you don't want. The ones that are a challenge, those are the ones that you really want, you know? Oh my God. So, yeah. You know, and as being a chosen one, you need to know that like your sexual energy is very, very powerful. So they're really trying to get you to use that. So they're going to be sending lots of agents your way to be very seductive, temptress, right? Because devil will use sex, magic. That's why there's a lot of sexual magic, right? And they will use people. A lot of times people don't even realize anybody that is not of high vibration can be used. Anybody that has a wounding can be used by the enemy. So people that are in association with you, and like literally like you can have some of your soulmates flipped, turned against you. Hold on, it's getting warm again. All sorts of stuff. And for some of you, like they don't even realize they're being used. Like a wounded person that can't do the healing work or has chosen not to, and especially if they use an addiction, that's why they love promoting alcohol, because alcohol lowers your chakras, shuts you down from source. It numbs your chakras, right? So the enemy can get in, right? That's why I literally, like, even just going to these places of establishments, right? Like I can literally go by bars, clubs, things like that. I feel the energy and there's all sorts of demonic energies that are literally just hovering these establishments, and all it takes is somebody to leave, a fight, an argument, to break up, whatever. They're following you home, right? Especially these places where there's pornography, or you're watching movie and content. And hurry, this minute. Okay, sorry about that. 6:44. Okay. So, I have no idea where I was because I got all excited talking about my little girl's birthday. All right. So secrets being exposed. I have no idea where I was. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna have to keep this one a short one. Look, integrity and emptiness. So I'm just gonna move on. We'll pull some cards. That's what we'll do here. Right. So for some of you, you could be finding out that people that get controlled or whatever, they have woundings, right? They feel empty inside. So a lot of times, like, things will come in to try to make them feel sorry, I'm trying to move stuff. They'll come in to try to fill you up with, to offer you something, to make you feel love, make you feel attention. That's why I was talking a lot about, like, they'll target people, content creators and things like that, and offer them, you know, things to make them feel upright or whatever. But then it's like they're using you with their agenda, right? And it's like that way at anywhere in this world is so much. They'll get people to question their integrity, right? And a lot of things that'll come across will be so packaged, right? You know, so be very careful about being bought, right? About contracts coming out, things like that, corruption. Because hidden cults, right, are being revealed. I'm supposed to be exposing some of them, things like that. I've been seeing people that I've looked up to, right, as mentors and things like that, and realizing what the glitch is, their integrity, the things that they say getting slipped up. And I'm just like, no, not another one, really. I've even been seeing some literally are realizing that they're being used and are changing their ways and are getting out. Like some people that realized they were getting manipulated and controlled through tarot, those are the ones that are like, I've given up using tarot and things like that. Like, you do have to be careful, right? And I was talking a lot about how some of the things, they're telling me seasoned. Some of you, like, could have been seasoned. Like, and when I first started using a tarot, like, I ain't gonna lie. Like, I was calling in my ancestors, but I didn't realize I have, like, high vibrational, low vibrational ones, some that are trapped and stuck, right? That I was here for. So, yeah, I was bringing in some of my dark ancestors, right? That were witches and had used, you know, spell work in the wrong way, right? Not because I'm a witch, but of white light, right? So I don't do spell work, manipulation, and control and things like that. Only for protection purposes, purposes, right? And that's more magician energy where I'm flipping everything and sending it back. But then I send healing and things like that. So be very, very careful, because everything that you create, put out there, is spell work, right? And it's just like they teach us that we're all practitioners of that, whether you realize it or not. Just like I talk about my daughter's birthday, right? That's when you make your first candle magic, is on your birthday cake. That is candle magic. You're putting the intention out over fire, over a candle. That's your first candle magic. Right? And your spells, that's why it's spelling. You are creating spell work. Your affirmations, right? And you don't realize it's not always what you say, it's what you hear too. And part of hypnosis and control is through repetition, repeating. That's why I don't realize a lot of those commercials that play over and over again, implanting things. The commercials, the shows, why do you think every show has the intro, the same intro? That's why the people, it's for controlling purposes. The people that use the same, like, it's to hook you, it's to grab you subconsciously, it's hypnosis, it's pulling you in. I don't like subscribers that pull me in. Like, because then I'm like, no, if you don't realize you're pulling me in with what you're doing. Because, yeah, you want to pull on the algorithms of YouTube, so you need to have repetitive, open. It's more than that, guys. You're hypnotizing people, and you need to know all that karma is going to come back to you if you're not doing it in the light. So for some of you, you're like creating your own karma because you don't realize you're being used by the enemy. You shouldn't be pulling on people's time and attention. So you need to be careful. And I get it, like, just like me, like, there's certain things that I do want to say, right? Where in the past I was like, well, I need to put out there right away that my content is not for everyone, right? And that my readings are timeless, right? They can integrate at any time. So there's certain things, but like if you're a new content creator, change up how you present your stuff. That's why sometimes I say my stuff in the beginning, sometimes in the end of the reading, or in the middle of the reading. Like, change it up. Don't feel like you have to control people, because then you're doing spell work in a way. The series, you're doing incantations is what that's called. And you're invoking people towards you. So if they see you pulling in on that energy, you're pulling in on other people. You are your divination. Let's see, being a diviner, but yeah, that's more pulling in divine information, things like that. So more things are just being aware. I'm going to tell you what, like, I didn't know that I was being manipulated or controlled. A lot of things were manipulated and controlled through the music we listen to, the movies and shows that we watch, the things that we consume, our everyday life. Just like clockwork. They've always been trying to put us in to a clock. Like, that's one thing, like, I do not go, and I know I need more groundedness. Right? I need to stop saying I need it, right? Because then I'm saying I have groundedness. I won't conform to a schedule. Like, I do not have a time where I'm like, oh, it's this time, it's dinner time. Like, literally, like, it's of all hours in the evening. Like, we don't have a set time. Now, it was different when all my children were in school, things like that. Because then would keep it around the same time, right? Because I know I wanted them to have their dinner before they got, they're settled down for the night, to get off to bed, certain time. But I get that. So I'm not saying, like, go completely against it, but I wasn't like, oh no, it's 6 o'clock. Nope, we can't go to the park. We can't go to the beach. Because there'd be some times where it'd be like 9:30. Normally we're getting ready for bed, and we live so close to the beach, like within 10 minutes, I'd be like, come on, let's go to the beach. Let's go run around under the moonlight, right? For a little bit. But I wasn't like, oh no, it's 9:30. Let me not, go do a fun little adventure at the beach with my kids, right? Things like that. So, yeah, integrity and yin yang, right? Holding your integrity, being authentic, balancing out those energies, knowing when, don't let them steal your joy, having time, calendar, constructs, just like weekdays. They weaken you. You're constantly saying week whenever you're talking about the work week or the school week or your plan, right? And then that you don't get to have fun until the ending. So it's the weekend. It's the end just so you can rejuvenate just a little bit so you can get back into your work week. You know what I mean? Just like, oh my gosh, there is just so much spell work. Like now I'm more find it a challenge, right? And I realize that like freedom. I'm setting myself free of a lot of things. Like literally today I told my daughter, she's so funny, she's my Virgo and she challenges me a lot, right? And literally I told her today, I'm like, you know what, like I just quit answering her with like her questions, right? And I was like, finally like, you know what, I'm not answering your questions anymore because I don't like questions. And it's like, all right, Mom, whatever, you're on something else. Like, and I've always said that, like, don't inquisit me over and over and over again. Like, I, like, despise repeating myself because then it just shows me you didn't listen the first go around. You know, my youngest son, he always seeks validation. So he will, because he had that broken, it's a wounding. So he will ask a question when he knows the answer to it. And it's like he got so caught up in doing that just to pull in my energy that he doesn't realize that the enemy's doing that to wear me down. And I had to tell me, like, you're creating karma for yourself every time you're pulling on my energy to have me repeat myself and tell you something when you willingly know the answer. You know, and I told my daughter, like, the thing is I don't like people to make me guess my integrity by you constantly asking me to explain what I'm doing. You're pulling energy off of me, which is trying to pull off my confidence. And then the way that she'll talk to me, like, you know what time it is, right? She'll say things like that just to get me to think, oh, is she implying, oh, what time is it? Oh, she must be implying that I'm not being a good mother because she's had a lot of toxic family members try to tell her that her mother, just because she's young and eccentric, and that, you know, because I had her very young and stuff, that, you know, and her being a single mom raising her, you know, like my family just doesn't, and her family doesn't accept that I've raised her on my own without their help, right? Most people can't do that, let alone I've raised 4 children. And anyway, so or am raising anyway. Like I told her, I'm like, if it comes to furthering you, helping you, if the question you're asking me is going to give you knowledge, enlightenment, you know, things like that, then yes. But when it comes to a question having me explain myself or what I'm doing, I'm not going to do that. I'm not explaining what I'm doing. I keep my work private. I keep what I do. You know, like if I go put my shoes on, I don't want to hear, why did you put your shoes on? Things like that. So I'm starting to pull back a lot of my energy. I'm being very mindful because a lot of things that are, your words are attached to your feelings, your emotions, which is in fact setting them. Some of the things that you say, you don't realize. It's just like, for instance, like everybody knows around here that I've been going through a lot of issues with my son. So it's like anytime I would step outside, I've got so many people asking me about my son, what's going on. Then it's like they want to talk about him, right? And I know at first it was like concern and stuff, but now it's like I'm shutting it all down. I'm like, he's healing. That's it. Just wish him, you know, send him some love for healing. That's it. Don't question me anymore. Don't ask me about what's going on. It's his business. You need to be more keeping things private. So many people go share, gossip, talk. It's never supposed to be about that. Gossiping is literally of the devil. It is. Because unless you're, you know, and even if it is something that's beautiful and you want to share something that somebody happened that's beautiful, you're stealing their joy. Let them be the person to decide. I can't tell you how many times, like, I have beautiful, wonderful news, and I come home, like, my daughter already told the family, like, years ago, and I'd be like, you stole my joy, like, you know, and especially now, like, she'll get into my accounts and look at stuff, and she'll, you know, she feels powerful because she's got the control over, and it's like, no, you don't do stuff like that. You don't snoop. You don't get in people's business. You gotta have boundaries. People don't like that. People don't like a know-it-all, whether you know the answer or not. Like, there's many times, like, somebody will even ask, like, oh, did you know this person? And I may know the answer already. And I'm like, well, that's their business to share. I'm not saying lie. Like, I don't lie, but I'm not gonna share people's information and their things, right? So that's about integrity too, keeping your integrity and stuff, right? But setting yourself free of other people's strongholds, and this stops you from like being a people pleaser, because that's where something I've needed to work on, reclaiming my power and my energy. right? So there's definitely rebirths and beginnings. For some of you people, like, you could be feeling this empowering energy, and I'm telling you, deploy it, launch it, do it, right? And for some of you, like, in the past, you may have worried, you know, like, I don't want my daughter to feel like, because she's getting closer to 18 now, that I'm not going to be there for her, things like that. And it's not that. It's just, this is me, you know, and she puts in a lot of it and relates it to her. A lot of the things, you know, that I do, she relates it to her. And I'm like, no, it's just, these are changes that I'm making for me and my business, for me and it has nothing to do with that, right? So, like, it's where you got to take the ego out of it, too. Your ego is your perception of yourself and how others perceive you. It's literally, like, you acknowledging that you and everything about you. It's how you feel about yourself and how others feel about you. That is what your ego is. You really need to let that go, because it doesn't matter what others think about you, and it doesn't matter even what you think about yourself, because what you think about yourself, you're really relating it to how you're going to present yourself to other people or whatever. It's just like mirrors, right? Mirrors are portals. They literally are. And they control you, right? And the enemy knows how to get into those mirrors and use them too. Because it's like in the programming that goes on within them, like through the electronics devices and things like that, like, you don't realize it. Because it's like, if you have this mindset, like, you know, you watch a show or something about someone that is not happy with how they look, and then you don't realize that got seated in your mind, and then the next thing you know, you're standing in front of a mirror and you're like, am I happy with how I look? And then your reflection is really a projection of what you feel. That's how literally, you know, like the movie Shallow Hal, they're showing me, right? Where he was under hypnosis, right? And so he was seeing women, right? Or he wasn't seeing them as they looked. He was seeing them with the heart or whatever. And then he was so upset when they took that off or whatever, right? Wasn't it? But anyway, it was like the projection. So mirrors, like, it doesn't really matter. You know, and how many times, like, a lot of times I'll tie up my hair and I don't care and I'm ready to go out or whatever, and I go to get my shoes, and we keep our shoes in the bathroom, so we have to walk by the mirror to get to them. And there'd be a lot of times where I'd go get my shoes and then I'd look at my hair and I'd be like, oh gosh, my hair's a mess. Let me fix this. I'd be like, oh, let me fix my makeup. My makeup's running off my face. Let me fix this before I go outside or whatever. Like, even if I'm just bringing the trash out or whatever. And then I was like, why do I care? Because I'm worried about how I'm presented, for what I'm going to look like to other people for when I go take out the trash. Right? And literally, some people will be like the other night, I was like hot, so I put on one of like my blouses, right, that is see-through, and I was just like, I should change, go to the store. And I was like, no, I'm not going to, because we're walking to the store. I'm like, whatever, like, no, I don't care. And even my daughter was like, you wore that out, right? Like, when we were in the store, like, I put on a hoodie just because I didn't want to be disrespectful. You know, because I don't want to draw attention to me and have, like, you know, wives, husbands looking at me and things like that. So it's different, like, if it's like that. You know, like, I'm going to be respectful of others. But it wasn't because it was, like, I was worried that people are going to be, oh, look at her shirt. You can see her bra right through her shirt. You know, and things like that. But it was just, like, so you could be amping yourself up and reminding yourself, like, no, like, I'm going to do this for me. So, yeah, like, the reflection doesn't matter. So, when I started to realize, like, yeah, messy hair, like, yeah, I love it. You know, what's funny, too, is the times that, like, my makeup's a mess and it's fading, or my hair's a mess. People will be like, your hair looks really pretty today. Or your and I'm just like, makeup's, like, not even done. Because people love that authenticity. They feel it. And it's like, when you don't feel like no one's looking at you is when everybody really is looking at you. You know what I mean? Like, you're not having to fake it. And the universe loves to, like, put you up on stage, put you up on platforms and things like that when you're not faking it. So anyway, the true chosen, 144,000, are rising at this time. And I was just saying my last reading, they're already not in positions of power like you think that they are. So the ones that are presenting themselves, that are saying like, I chosen, I got 100K subscribers. No, you're not. I'm sorry if there are some that are. And they're, you know what? I can't see it because you're in your ego. So if anything, I'm powering you up more to get out of your ego. Okay, so stop it. Okay, love and light to all of you. Bye.